Here are your solutions to 5-1. These are the letter problems. Let's take a look at letter A. It asks us to classify the relationship between angle 4 and angle 6. And we can look at it and see that they are both inside of the parallel lines, and they are on opposite sides, so that makes them alternate interior angles. So letter A is alternate interior. Okay, now let's do letter B. It asks us to find the measure of angle 4 in the problem above. So this is what we're looking for. And in the explanation they told us that the measure of angle 2 is 105 degrees. So that's right here, 105 degrees. And you were up here it said to find the measure of angles 6 and 3. Well, we can take a look at this and recognize that angles 2 and 4 are both on the left side of the transversal, and they're both beneath or below each individual parallel line, so that makes them corresponding. Therefore, the measure of angle 4 is 105 degrees, because angle 4 and angle 2 are the same, and angle 2 was given as 105 degrees. Here are your solutions to 5-1 guided practice. Problem number 1 asks us to refer to the porch stairs shown, and it tells us that line M is parallel to line N. So, and then we have a transversal right through here. So we know we've got parallel lines here with the transversal, so our rules are in effect. And it tells us that the measure of angle 7 is 35 degrees. So write it right in there. That's 35 degrees for that angle there. Now it asks us to find the measure of angle 1 and then to justify your answer. So we can put that we're going to be looking for this angle here, angle 1. Well, we can look at that and recognize that since we know that this is 35 degrees here for angle 7, that would tell us that angle 3, because those are both corresponding angles, these two angles are on the same side of the transversal, and they're both to the left, in this case, of the parallel lines, so we can write 35 in here. Therefore, we can show that 180 minus 35 degrees will give us angle 1. So 180 minus 35 is 145 degrees. So the measure of angle 1, so we would put it like this: measure of angle 1 equals 145 degrees. Now our justification for that would be, let's do this the easy way. Our justification of that would be, again, we can look at this, because angles 7 and 5 are supplementary. This is a little bit differently than I did it. We can say that because 7 was 35 degrees, that tells us that 5 is 145 degrees. And then by using angles 5 and 1 are corresponding, 5 and 1 are corresponding, since 5 is 145 degrees, then angle 1 must also be 145 degrees. All right, problems 2 and 3. Refer to the figure at the right. Line A, right here, is parallel to B, and the measure of angle 2 is 135 degrees. So this right here is 135 degrees. Find each given angle measure and then justify your answer. So we're looking for the measure of angle 9 right there. Well, because this is 135 degrees, we can say that this is also 135 degrees. So the measure of angle 9 would be 135 degrees minus this angle here, angle 10, which is 90 degrees. So 130 minus 90 degrees would be 45 degrees. So the measure is so the measure of angle 9 is 45 degrees. And the reason for that is because angle 2 and angles 9 and 10 together are vertical. Therefore, 9 and 10 together equals 135 degrees, and angle 10 is 90 degrees. So we've got angle 9 plus 90 degrees equals this is 135 here, equals 135. We'll take a look at the way they did that in a minute here. Now let's look at the measure of angle 7. In this case, we have angle 2 again is 135 degrees, and they want us to give us the measure of angle 7. Well, this is easy. Angle 7 is also 135 degrees because angle 2 and angle 7 are alternate, and they're both inside, so they're alternate interior is your explanation. So now let's take a look at this and see the way they did it. So again, we had 45 degrees, which we had for our answer here. And remember, some of these answers are going to be different than what you did because there's more than one way to get there. So they said the measure of angle 2 and angles 9 and 10 represented vertical, which is exactly what I said. So 9 plus 10 has to equal this 135 degrees, again, which is what I said. So we have 135 minus the 90 of angle 10 gave us the 45. In number 3, we said 135, and again we had angles 2 and 7. Let's switch our ink color here. Angles 2 and 7, right here and here, are alternate interior. Just like I said, that gives us 135 degrees. Lastly, let's move down to our building on the essential question. How are the measures of the angles related when parallel lines are cut by a transversal? And we can say that the angles are either equal or supplementary. That's the key thing. You need to realize which angles are corresponding, alternate exterior or alternate interior. That makes them equal in value. Or we could have supplementary angles where we've got a situation like this where we know that A plus B has to give us 180 degrees, total of 180 degrees, straight line. Please do independent practice.